Hey, Dad!
Yes, son, what is it?
Look what I found!
What is it?
Can I keep it, Dad?
You know, I don't know if that's such a good thing. Son, just because you find something in the wild and you think it's cute doesn't mean it makes a good pet.
Oh, look, Dad, he likes you!
Son, you really need to get this thing off the top of me.
Dad, what did you do? You hurt him!
Uh-oh. Hey, Rangers, welcome to Super Important Views. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnes.
And today I'll be going over the Bandai movie monster series Shin Godzilla version A and B. Now, I want to state at the beginning of this video, I know nothing about these guys.
So please keep it that way.
Yeah, I'm waiting till the movie comes out stateside, which will be in a couple of weeks, and then I will know more about these little individuals here. So, please don't spoil it for me in the comment section below. Greatly appreciate it.
Really, really appreciate it, guys.
So for the most part for this review, I'm just going to be going over the vinyls in general. Again, pretty much what I know about these guys is what I've seen from trailers, which isn't much. These guys are from the new Shin Godzilla movie, which came out in 2016, which, again, I know nothing about, so if you guys have seen it, sweet. Otherwise, we'll just get into these little guys' review, which they kind of look like little baby Godzillas. Don't they?
Steve, why did they name them A and B for?
Okay, well, I know, at least to my understanding, maybe spoilers, warn you guys in advance, because at least if you guys have been avoiding trailers, that's where I might spoil a few things for you. But, alright, moving on now. These are his, at least my understanding, his, like, first form, second form, and then the one that I already have would be his final form.
Oh, well, that's okay.
So he evolves throughout the movie. So he actually starts off with like these ones. And the one that we thought was maybe not his first form in the final version is actually the final version.
Oh, so the thing in the trailers, that's what he turns into, right?
Yes.
Oh.
And this is like what you saw like crashing through the boats and stuff. Alright, so without further ado, further packaging. They just come with these little cards attached to the side of them. You can see the final form of Shin Godzilla on the front, 2016. Got the little copyrighted little emblem with the King Goji right there.
That's what it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah. On the back, got some dorsal spines. Inside, nothing too much other than you get a little white image of the A version on this one. And this one, you get the B version on the inside. And a bunch of stuff I can't understand. Probably some legal mumbo jumbo somewhere in there. So, oh, this always pains me, but these tags have to come off.
Don't do it.
They gotta come off, man.
No,
I don't care about the value. I want them to stay on my shelf and look cool. And so I still keep the tags. It's fine. Jessica might yell at me. So,
okay, he's gonna poop himself.
Yeah. All right, I had to go get a pair of scissors to get the tags off. So I know, blasphemy. I removed what makes them worth so much money because I don't care. Because these guys
just went down, man.
It's fine. I mainly just get this stuff just to look cool in my collection. Anyways, it's not like I really ever sell the Godzilla stuff. Well, for the most part. Usually if I have, like, extras. But, anyways, we're going to start going over Form A before we go over Form B, because that just kind of makes a little more sense to me. But, from initially with the stance for Form A, he's very low to the ground, as you can see, which is really odd looking for a Godzilla. Which I'll get him out of the way a little bit, just so you guys can see a little bit better.
I like how they emphasize on his gills that he comes from water.
Well, yeah, kind of like with the 2014 where they introduced that little theory. Because you always wonder like how Godzilla breathed underwater, so they gave him gills, which you can kind of see on here. Which I think, from what I've seen on the trailers, again, spoilers, this is where like the it looks kind of like blood spews out of him, and he starts like absorbing other mass into himself to make him larger.
That's just weird, man.
Yeah, it's a weird little concept, but it's very Evangelion-esque. Kind of like what they did in the original movies for Evangelion, where they have everybody getting absorbed into the LCL, or I'm trying to remember what the liquid's called inside of the cockpit. But everybody essentially gets turned into that, and they form into one being. It's kind of like what's happening with the Godzillas here. But with Form A, again, very low to the ground, not too much going on. And same with, you can't really see his little arms, but we'll get to that in a second. And then with Form B, he's actually a little bit more upright, which is kind of harkens back to Godzilla Jr. for me.
Yeah.
from the Heisei series because he has a little bit more of a dinosaur shape to him than what you see with Godzilla, which is more upright because guy in a rubber suit. But in this film, he's actually CG. And I think it's just cool that one of these forms actually has a little bit more of that prehistoric appearance, especially with the way his legs are shaped and everything. It kind of makes a little bit more sense.
I don't... Like, I get what they were going for, but he still, in this form, looks a little weird, you know?
Oh yeah, but I think that's what kind of gives it its charm a little bit.
Yeah, because you can tell, like, the gills are going away and, like, he's building the neck muscles underneath him.
Yeah, it's starting to form into kind of what we expect Godzilla to look like. Not whatever this thing is.
I don't know, I kind of like that thing. It looks cool.
Oh, I think, yeah, I actually really like the A one. I'll kind of spoil that a little bit. Alright, so for Form A's details, head sculpt looks really nice on this guy. I really love his fish eye appearance. Like, it kind of looks like dead fish. And he kind of gets that, like, ghost-eyed appearance. And that's what that kind of reminds me of. You can see the little membrane inside of the mouth. They actually added some paint details for the teeth here, which are done in a very yellow bone coloring. And his mouth is a very fleshy, dark pink. Same with the gills on the side here. But you can see even a little bit of the details inside of the gills, which is really cool.
I was actually shocked that they went that much into it, you know?
Yeah, it's really cool for what you get with these vinyls, because I've had a lot of complaints with some of the newer ones because they don't hold as much of the details as I would like to see from the movies. While with, especially with this guy, you can even see here where the arms are starting to form. But they aren't really extending out of the body yet.
I do like how he, like, represents the tadpole, you know what I mean? You can see the parts right there, but they're still not there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, even with the giant elongation in the neck, where it's expanding outwards kind of like a sack. And then you can see the start of the crest that you see on the final form of Godzilla there, which looks pretty good overall. His dorsal spines are a little bit smaller compared to all the other forms of Godzilla. And the paint on those is actually in a little bit more of a brown color scheme, with his entire body being done in a slightly yellowish tan, like more of a sand color. And that goes out throughout the entirety of the body, even to the tail here, which actually has what appears to be a little bit of a fin on the end of it. Is what that looks like to me, and it's starting to go away with this form.
It's like that detail that they put into it.
Yeah, because his tail's very thin compared to what we see on the final form. And also doesn't have the same ridges as you see on the tail too, which is kind of like trademark Godzilla. But I do like that they actually show like some veins here on the side of the tail going into the body. You can see it kind of forming into the arm there. Same with on the opposite side. And I just love seeing all the folded skin and the wrinkles that you see in the body, where he gives you that nice muscle definition in the leg. For his little feet, you can see 3 toes, and it's starting to make that very dinosaur shape to it. Which I kind of wish they maybe would have painted the nails a little bit, because they kind of went all out on the gills, mouth, the eyes. You think they could at least add a little bit here to the toenails?
They had to skip out somewhere, I guess.
And you got his little chubby belly right there, and that's pretty much it for the most part. For some of the seam lines, you can see them here on the dorsal spines. Coming down here to the right about the base of the tail, you'll see a seam line right here at the sectioning of the tail, which doesn't have actually any articulation there. You see some copyrights here on the bottom of the tail as well. And then for his articulation, Arnes, did you want to go over it?
Heck yeah.
Sweet, tag in.
Alright, see, now what I need you to do is I'll hold the figure for you.
Alright.
And I'll talk about it. Okay, now move the leg. And that's it for your articulation, guys.
Yep. His legs go forward and back. And that's about it. So he's going to be sitting in this position pretty much all the time. Which, to me, kind of makes it seem weird that they even just gave him articulation at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool that, like, the legs move, you know, but it might have actually been really nice to maybe see some head articulation so you have him, like, rotating and just look a little cockeyed at you.
Hey, Steve, I see another articulation. Turn his tail towards us. There's a seam line there. Try to turn it.
No, that's not an articulation joint, man.
Yeah, you're not doing it hard enough, man. It's just it.
So yeah, for the articulation for this guy, very lackluster. But in terms of detail, very impressive, especially compared to some of the other vinyls I've seen recently. And then moving on to the B form. Overall, kind of has mostly the same details, except he's just a little bit more upright. But some of the different features between Form A and Form B is he's actually in a very dark reddish brown color scheme. And then you can start seeing the trademark reds that you'd see on the final form, especially here on the dorsal spines, which are actually done in this very gloss paint job. For the head sculpt, looks really nice too. Get some paint details here for the teeth as well, just like we saw on Form A. Same with the dead fish eyes. Are very predominant on this one in particular. His mouth is a little bit more closed, and you don't get the fleshy color scheme like we got with Form A, with it just being the same color as what you see for the rest of the body here, but you actually get more of the neck that you see on the final version, and the gills are actually retracting into the body.
Which is freaking me out.
Yep, and then you get some of that gloss red here to fill in the seams for the gills. You got his little protrusion here on the front portion of his chest. The arms are starting to form on this guy, but they are molded into the body, so no articulation. But I do like that the one arm is kind of going a little bit forward.
Stop stealing my job. Articulations is my thing, Steve.
I'm sorry. And then his little chubby belly is starting to go away. You can see a little bit more of those veins coming down the side of Godzilla here.
He is jacked. Look at that.
Yeah. Friggin' works out, man. Same with the tail here, too, where you start seeing the semblance of the weird formation that you see on the final form. It's starting to show up on this one as well. And this is where the tail starts thickening up to what you plan to see for the later portion of the film.
For the final form.
Yes. And same with his legs are starting to form here as well, where they still have the dinosaur appearance, but they definitely get a little bit more chunky, like you see on the final form of Shin Godzilla as well. And sadly, no paint job here on the toenails, which is, again, a little bit disappointing. But I can understand fully. It's a vinyl, nothing too crazy. And some of the seam lines that you've seen on the A version, exact same on the B, right around the dorsal spines and at the tail. And then for its articulation, do you just want me to go over it?
No, I got this, man. Stop stealing my stuff.
Alright, sorry. Alright, ready? Go.
And for his articulations? Oh, wait.
All the way around. Both legs. Yeah.
Now, doesn't it look like he has one, like, right here?
Yes, because he also has a seam line here, which actually does rotate a bit.
Oh, that looks weird.
Whee! It's got like a little shimmy going on to him. Actually, yeah, it kind of helps to sell him a little bit for me. And no articulation here at the tail. So for a quick comparison, here we have the Shin Godzilla version A and B compared next to their final form.
Steve, looking at this, I have a great idea for Stevie Toy Room.
Huh?
We should do the 2016 Godzilla's Arnes trailer, and just for the teaser trailer, just put this in there. Can you imagine how pissed people would have been if they saw a Godzilla trailer and that was the monster they showed off?
Why does nobody love me? And for the rest of these comparisons, we're just going to compare to more Bandai vinyls, which what we have here is Iris from Gamera 3 and Mother Legion from Gamera 2. And Steve, I don't know why.
Steve, for comparison, your logic is already failing. I see a tag on that guy.
Yeah, it's because he's so old and I got him with the tag, so I was like, alright, whatever. But anyways, I don't know why I'm comparing next to a bunch of Gamera figures. But what we have here is Gamera and Gauss from Gamera Guardian of the Universe. These are the larger scale Bandai vinyls.
God, look at the difference in like the details on that.
Yeah, larger figure, better details. Just how things roll, man. It's like X pluses. Alright, we got a little closer. Here's the little Shin Godzillas compared next to some Mothra vinyls with Dasa Ghidorah and Mothra Leo. Here they are compared next to...
Finally, Godzilla!
Yeah, with Final Wars Godzilla and GMK.
Okay, Steve.
Alright.
Okay. I know we need some weird comparisons, but seriously, like...
Well, we have little Godzillas here, so let's compare them next to some other little Godzillas. With Minya from Final Wars and Baby Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2.
You ever call Minya Godzilla again, I will end you.
So overall, the Bandai Movie Monster Series Shin Godzilla version A and B, I actually really like these ones. I'm actually very surprised at how much I like these ones, because initially when I saw the photos, I thought they looked kind of goofy, didn't really like the paint job from what I've seen in the pictures, and was going to pass on them, but once I found out that the Monster Art Shin Godzilla is not coming stateside, it kind of made me wonder with some of these other figures coming out as well, so I figure I'd hop on them sooner than later before the price goes up even more on these guys. Because if you want to pick them up stateside, they're going to run you around $30.
Each or for both?
Each.
Oh.
So they are a little bit cheaper than the final form, but I feel like the final form is the one that everybody's going to want to get over these two, at least until the movie comes out. And I gotta say, I love the paint job on both of these guys, preferably A over B because A has just a little bit more color variety. But I still like B as well. I think the articulation isn't that great on these guys, but it's serviceable for the figures because for the most part, most vinyls don't have that much articulation on them to begin with. And with these guys having very tiny appendages, other than just adding a head swivel to them, there isn't really much else they could have really done with these. And they have a surprising amount of detail for being such smaller figures, which is something I was not expecting.
No, definitely. Like, there is some perks to these guys. And when I came into this review, I was already mindset on not liking them, like you said earlier. But as we went through the details, they look really good. Compared to what we got in the pictures and the real thing, it's like the sun and the moon. That's the difference on him, honestly.
Now what's actually kind of cool is these actually get me more excited about the SH Monster Arts versions that are going to be coming out. Because they're my personal favorite toy line to collect, so...
You know what they really get me excited about? Is the freaking movie. I want to see what is going on now so bad.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The trailers just aren't doing it for me, but I really don't want to get spoiled before I go see the movie.
Yeah, so please don't.
Yeah, don't let us know in the comment section below. Unless the movie already came out, then by all means. But waiting for the stateside release. So if you guys were thinking of passing on these little guys because of maybe the price tag or you just didn't have that much interest in these figures to begin with, I say they're actually worth the purchase.
Yeah, pick them up.
Especially if you really love Shin Godzilla or are a little bit hesitant on picking these guys up until you see the movie, I definitely recommend picking up beforehand than later. Because after the movie comes out, if everybody starts liking it stateside, good luck trying to get a hold of these. But what do you guys think? Have you guys picked up the Shin Godzilla vinyls? What's your favorite Shin Godzilla figure, or is TriStar just more your thing? Please let us know in the comments. A little closer pictures of these guys on our website if you want to click the link in the description below. We also have a Patreon account, so if you guys want to help support the channel, definitely also check that link out in the description below as well. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button. Subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.